Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Black Geek Energy. I am here today to introduce a visionary. His career has gone so far, um, it appears to be firmly rooted in comic books and crafting diverse stories. He's created original creator-owned series like Crucified, Snatch, Concrete Jungle, and most recently, They Choose Violence, as well as contributing to Spider-Man Ultimate for Marvel. There is no evidence that he is going to stop, and we don't want him to. He is a visionary comic book writer, and we are pleased to have him on the show. Welcome today, Sheldon Allen. Yay!
Thank you. First of all, heartfelt apology because look at that. You see, I'm up here. But heartfelt apology because I know I was supposed to be here previously and we kind of got our wires mixed up. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime invited somewhere, as I was saying earlier, I'm happy to come. As long as I get the invite, be more if I don't get the invite, which is crazy. So,
Nice. Well, no sweat off our back because we got to have our full Saturdays back after we quickly recorded a Patreon episode. So it was great for both of us, and we just rolled with with the punches. So,
thank you.
Sheldon, I have to say, to start off this episode, like we start off every episode, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad at you after this.
Okay.
But I have to know, Sheldon, how has your previous week been?
It's been pretty good, man. I mean, look, man, one thing about me that drives people crazy is I am not a complainer at all, man. My motto is if I'm here, I'm good, man. Because as crazy and dark as it may seem, it can always be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Well, Sheldon, let me just tell you why I'm mad at you because I read the first issue of your latest comic, They Choose Violence. And I was looking like, when is the next book coming out? And why isn't it already out? I was so upset. No, this is back when the first one came out.
Okay. Never mind.
I was so upset that I could not continue reading because that cliffhanger was the most craziest cliffhanger that I have ever seen in comics ever. Probably comics, movies, TV, everything. So what I did through my anger was I went back and I actually read your whole discography. Okay.
Oh, wow. Appreciate it.
So can we talk about some of the quote unquote classic Sheldon Allen books to start off this? The greatest hits. Okay, so you have written a lot of good stories.
Well, thank you.
And I want to start off with Crucified. Child, this book was so it actually was inspiring to me to do something with my life. And it made me think of who I was focused on, because this book is about this Messiah figure who's Black in California during the race riots. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sheldon, because I can't be wrong with you right here. During the race riots, but it turns out that the race riots was a ploy set up by Todd, they say. Was a ploy set up by Todd, and that his 12 disciples aren't as holy as you may think. So you're thinking of that, but he has this command over the populace that is very weird. And the good thing that Sheldon doesn't do, and can I do spoilers? It's been
Please,
4 years.
by all means, by all
Okay.
means.
The good thing that Sheldon doesn't do is he doesn't actually tell us if he is a messiah figure or not. So I'm like wondering, how does he have that control of people, and why is he surrounded by things? Sheldon, what was your inspiration behind Crucified? Like, this story was so, it was like nothing else I ever read before.
Right. First of all, thank you. And I don't know if we should call it greatest hits, because usually when you call it like greatest hits, that's like, when the rapper's like approaching the end of their contract or something, and they're trying to put out like it's one little last album to get out of it. So we'll
Yeah.
we'll just say previous work. But
Yeah.
Okay.
as I was telling Marcus earlier, I've been writing for a while, and full disclosure, I'm not the most religious person in the world. Although my family, they're from the South, they're super religious, and if you know anything about the South, they're all religious.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember at the time when I wrote it, there were just a lot of people clinging to the cloth, so to speak. A lot of people carrying themselves as if they were people of the cloth. And there's just a
Mm.
lot of crazy, insane stuff being said at the time. You would think I'm talking about like recent history, but no, we're talking, early 2000s actually. And it was just a lot of stuff being said. And I was just like, this is so silly. And I just always remember, if Christ were to come back, how many people would actually follow him? Number one.
Yeah.
And number
Mm-hmm.
two, there's a lot of people who claim to be followers of Christ who he would become a threat to.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just this perfect marriage of everything happening at the time. And I kind of initially wrote it, and then I let it sit on the computer for like almost 20 years.
Oh.
It literally sat on the hard drive for a long time, and I rediscovered it. It was my first creator-owned book when I came kind of sort of back to comics in 2018. I was
Uh-huh.
kind of prodded by some coworkers, some nosy coworkers of mine at the time. They do a little Facebook search, and they're like, "Oh my God, you wrote
Mm.
a Spider-Man book!" And they do like the basic, oh, do you still write? Oh, you should get back into it, blah, blah, blah. And so you never lose the creative itch. If you're a creator and you're an artist, like, you never lose that creative itch, no matter what you do, it always is there. And I went back and I was like, let me read some of my stuff. And Crucified was like one of the first things I read. I was like, wait, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not to, pat myself on the back or not feeling myself too much. I was like, this is pretty good.
Very
I should
good.
I should go ahead and dust this off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that was just kind of, the story of Crucify, where it was just a lot going on. And almost everything that I write is a response to the things that I'm hearing at the time. I could
Mm.
probably take you back to the exact point, the exact moment in which I got the initial spark for anything that I write. It's almost always a response to something that's going on.
Mm.
That's what's up, man.
Okay,
And
okay.
shout out to those nosy coworkers because we got you back now.
Okay. Next I want to talk about is Concrete Jungle. This was
uh,
the most infuriated I was at a main character. Um,
uh,
because I was like not since Joffrey from Game of Thrones have I just wanted somebody to
I
die.
like that one. I like that one. I like it.
I just wanted her gone immediately. And I have to ask you, because you're right here,
Uh-huh.
aliens saying the N word, should we be outraged?
Um, so actually, when I wrote it, the publisher got a couple of letters about that. And
Wow.
when I wrote it, my response is it was true when I wrote it. I said, notice you're upset and you're enraged about her using that word, but you're not upset or enraged about how it's accepted by her coworkers, and none of them are
Mm.
even appalled by it.
Ooh.
So
Hmm.
just the acceptance of that type of, charged language, and you can assume, that type of racism and bigotry, to me, that's more alarming than the actual person using it, because
Right.
nobody
Mm.
even stepped in to check her.
Right. Mm.
Right,
And so, yeah, that
right.
that that's that that's the way that's where I sit on that. And he's one of my favorite characters to write. I wouldn't even necessarily describe her necessarily as a racist or a bigot. She's just a provocateur. You know what I mean? She's just one of
Mm.
those people.
Yeah. Like, in your imagination in this world, this neo-futuristic world that shows are they alien refugees that came to Earth, or
Yeah, they're alien refugees. Yep,
yeah, that came
they're
to
alien
Earth,
refugees.
and now they're intermingled with our culture so much that,
Uh,
aliens are wearing skull caps and wearing shiesties when they rob people, and speaking in dialects that is very familiar to me, but may not be familiar to somebody that stays light years away. So
I got to
I
give
mean,
a yeah, I got to give a quick shout out to the artist for the book. His name's Carl Mozart. He actually passed away
oh,
last year. He came out. It was just came out of nowhere. He passed away. He's based in South Africa, and Concrete Jungle. He kind of agreed to draw just off of muscle, man. I could
oh,
not believe it because he's amazing. And then he ended up getting picked up by DC, and he was starting to become one of DC's go guys, and
hmm,
suddenly passed out of nowhere. But he was my right hand man on that book, and all the imagery and the things you were describing. A lot of that came from his imagination. So I got to make sure I give him his flowers on
yeah,
that.
yeah, he did an amazing job. I remember how the characters looked, and how they look is how I felt
Mm.
in that book. And I remember there were just
And
some scenes without dialogue and that were really powerful. So yes,
one
great
more
artist.
one more quick aside about that is again, just giving Carl his flowers. He got super busy. He started getting all these DC books. He was doing Deceased, and he's getting all this DC work. And for years, he was like, don't continue the book without me, man. I'm gonna find the time for you. I'm gonna
Mm,
find. Don't continue the book. Don't like listen, man. Don't continue the book. And then he just got to the point where he was so busy, and he was like, okay, like I love this book so much. I'm gonna find you the artist to do the next volume
mm,
because
Yeah.
I care about the books that much. Like I feel like, even though it's your baby, I
Hmm.
feel some sort of ownership over that book. And I'm gonna find you the artist to do the next one. And he actually found me the artist for volume two, which should be coming out hopefully next year, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
oh,
And yeah, so I miss that guy dearly, man. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we
Rest
love to
in
see it happen
peace.
like that, when
yeah,
we
man.
work together and like everybody like blows up together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So him being busy, that was his blessing right there.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it for sure.
All right. The final book I want to talk about that you released and I read in anger that that we didn't have the latest book of what we're going to talk about later is Snatched, which is this a real thing? Snatch is about the underground uh weave and extension uh
Uh,
cabal, and it's these
yeah.
people just killing people. And that's another thing we gotta talk about. You love to kill people, and I love to see it. I love seeing people die. And you were killing people first page, cover first page. I'm looking at bullet holes through heads. And it wasn't the
uh,
first book, it was the first, second, third, and fourth book of Snatch. So,
it's the
like,
first, yeah.
yeah, is that a real thing that happens in the world? Because
Absolutely. I guarantee you, if you were to Google hair trafficking, you would come up
Mm.
with a ton of stories that absolutely is a 100% real thing. It's kind of sort of an extension to, I guess, organ harvesting. You
Yeah.
know, if
mm,
you're not gonna put anything to waste. Almost like, like a chicken or a pig. Like you literally eat every part of the animal, right? I mean,
mm-hmm,
unless you're a
Hmm.
vegetarian, but listen, they got pig feet, pig ear, they got chitlins,
mm-hmm,
you eat it all, and it's the same thing with a human body. If you're gonna,
mm,
harvest organs, you might as well go ahead and harvest all of it. And
yeah.
as I'm pretty sure you guys are well aware, that hair is pretty expensive. It is
Oh
not
yeah.
cheap.
Especially
It
that
is
human
not
hair.
cheap. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's money to be made there. So yeah, man, Snatch was always a real interesting one. I always get like some great reactions off of that one.
Nice. I haven't read your whole discography yet, but now after this, it's like I gotta go back and get all these books. I
Oh
have
man,
read They Choose Violence. Like I'm with the current stuff.
shoot me an email, man. I got you.
Oh
Ah, okay.
man. Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Right after this.
Now, what I really liked about Snatched is that you change and you show different families and you show different people and you show different perspectives and struggles and you showcase this in their own language. Like the first line, I had to pull out my phone and was like, Google, can you translate this? Because you did translate that first line. And I was like, this is kind of like genius how he's doing that and
Uh,
he's introducing me to their world in their world. So I really like that fact. Like it's crazy how well where did your imagination come from?
Man, it just I always had a wild, vivid imagination, but with Snatch, it kind of sort of came about like if you're listen, if you dating a black woman or
hmm
a Latino woman, you're gonna spend some time in the hair store.
hmm
Mm.
You're gonna spend some time in the hair store or these salons, and I just remember at the time just marveling at how expensive this stuff was and how literally people will shut down their entire life, their entire week. You know, I got to go get this hair or I got to go get
hmm
this, these extensions. It was just like a whole lifestyle. And I was like, yo, there's just too much money behind this.
Mhm.
And then I was also paying attention to, who owned the stores and, who owned the businesses and how the businesses were operated. And then I was like, I'm gonna try to tell this story. Like, what if this story, what if this hair is actually, coming from people who are being killed and, it's
Mm.
being taken against their will. And, I thought I had like this genius idea and I researched it. I'm like, oh, wait, it's not a genius idea. Like it's actually happening. Like, wait, this is like a real thing, actually.
Yeah.
Wait.
And yeah, and so
Yeah.
I wanted to tell, like you said, just the different perspectives from the different elements who are involved in it because it is a global trade. And just giving the opportunity to tell different stories and different viewpoints to see how everybody's affected by it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you definitely
Great.
did that because I felt all of the excitement, panic, joys, and all of the struggles when I read Snatch. So kudos to you on that.
It's like
Me this
I always picture it as it's like traffic, except for with hair instead of cocaine or the wire.
Mm.
mm,
It's like the wire with hair except for heroin.
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Now
Jay,
it's
you not
time
seeing
to
The Wire?
have I yeah, I saw it a long
Oh, okay.
time ago. I
Okay.
saw it a long time ago. Of
Okay.
course. Okay. You know, I love the
Okay,
HBO stuff. Anything HBO.
okay, all right.
Um
I was gonna say we
Yeah.
don't have to kick you off your own podcast.
you know,
You
I'm proud.
signed, so you good.
Right.
No, I actually watched it live when it was airing, but I probably
Same,
Oh,
need
same,
me
to,
to me. Oh, see, I went back. I,
yeah.
same.
I watched it late. All the episodes already out.
Better late than never, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, now is the time where we put our listeners on to something. And Sheldon, I want to ask you what you want to do, what you want to put our listeners on to. This could be anything in TV, movies, podcasts, comics, tabletop RPGs. It could be anything that you want to put our
Wow.
listeners on to for this week. And this segment is sponsored by Movie Pass. So, DeMarcus, can you please tell them a little bit about Movie Pass?
Absolutely. So MoviePass is a subscription-based service meant to make movie going easier, more affordable, and more accessible for everybody, pretty much. And movie tickets right now are getting out of hand. You paying 15, $20 a movie ticket. And
Mm.
I don't know about y'all, but I done had it up the hill with it. I ain't doing it no more. So I have a MoviePass account. They have subscriptions as low as like what, $10? And you get a number of points from with your subscription, and you can go see multiple movies a month, sometimes unlimited movies, depending on which tier you get. And you're making your money back after you go see the first movie. Because when I had a $10, I done moved up now because I've been on it so long. But when I had the $10 subscription, went and saw a movie. The ticket was $18, but then I can still see two more movies off that one
Hmm.
month. Hey, I'm winning.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely a winning combination, especially if you love movies.
Hmm.
So, Sheldon, what would you like to put our listeners on to for this week?
You put me on the spot. I didn't even know you guys had that kind of segment. Okay,
Well, if you want to take some time, I can go first and the markets can go and then you can go.
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, that'll work.
Okay. So what I would like to put people onto for this week is I like a downfall into madness, everything goes downward story.
Hmm.
It starts out with I just want to do something great. And the latest movie I saw where this happened is called Terrestrial. And it's this new movie. I don't even
Hmm.
think it's out yet. I saw a screener of it. I didn't sign an NDA, so I saw a screener of it. And it is about this writer who has this favorite TV show called, it's like a Star Wars, Star Trek type TV show. And he
Hmm.
sees the writer come into his diner and he's living in his car. He's lying to his mom, telling his mom that he is okay, that he has a publisher to make his books. And he follows the writer to his house and attacks him. And he invites his friends over. So that's Terrestrial. It starts out, hopeful, good, and then this black man, because he's the only black guy in this story, he just has a swift descent into madness, and uh, it's kind of like because it was a label as a sci-fi thing to me, but the
Hmm.
sci-fi elements seem like more dream sequences. So yeah,
Uh,
if you can find Terrestrial, if you can um uh get Terrestrial, or if you have to wait a while, keep Terrestrial in your mind because it's a really swift deep dive into the Netherlands. And many
So the
people
black
die.
man followed the writer home and attacked him?
The black man followed the writer home because I'm selling the whole movie. The black man followed the writer home, and he was trying to pitch him his idea and heard something
Mm.
and decided to go back when he
Okay.
wasn't there. But
Okay.
got
lo and
like a
behold.
it's got like a little kind of sort of like Misery a little bit.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
he thinks he kills. Okay, I'm telling too much. I'm telling too much.
No, we check it out. We check it out. It sounds dope, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, Demarcus, what do you want to put them on to?
I started watching over the weekend a show on Apple TV called The Studio
Mhm.
Mm.
with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie's in it, Martin
Oh,
Scorsese's in it. Like a lot of famous people are in it. So if you've ever
Ice
seen the
Cube.
show, is Ice Cube in it? I don't. If he is, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
I think I'm spoiling. Yeah, you'll see.
Oh, okay,
no, I saw
okay.
some trailers with Ice Cube in them. Yeah.
So, and if you ever saw the show Entourage and you like that, the studio is like Entourage, but from like the studio perspective instead of the actor's perspective. So it's funny. Like Seth Rogen is like hilarious as he always is in all of his roles, and he's like going around the studio, the different like movie sets, trying to be like this big studio head, but always like fucking shit up. Like it's one episode where that I just watched where he's like he ruins an entire scene that they was trying to shoot all day, and like by the time he leave, like it's getting dark and they ain't got the light no more. But yeah, it's hilarious. So if you want to see Seth Rogen like run around, fucking shit up, the studio.
Now, Demarcus, I saw some episodes of Entourage and I wasn't enthused. And this is the second Apple TV show that you have mentioned on this little segment that I'm
Hmm.
like, because I
You didn't
watched the
like
first one.
you didn't like Ted Lasso?
I hated Ted Lasso.
Okay, wait. Quick question. When did you watch Entourage? Did you watch it when it first came out or later?
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out because like people were
Okay.
talking about it, and I just watched a couple of
Okay.
episodes. I didn't
Hmm.
stick with it to the
Okay. Fair.
Aquaman.
Okay. Fair enough.
Mm-mm.
Because I was gonna say if you were to watch it now, it's very much a show of its time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
because
like they would never make a show like Entourage again. I don't think.
Yeah, because I feel like
Mm.
a lot of the cameos they had in Entourage, like don't nobody care about them folks no more.
Yeah, it's super dated, a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
So yeah.
I like Entourage. Jared, I
Mm.
feel like you just don't like what I like, and that's okay.
I mean, you just
First
like some
first four
cringy.
seasons. I was gonna say first four seasons was legit. Then it became like kind of like hate watch material. Like, all right, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
I invested like 4 seasons and I'm gonna keep watching it, even though they're just like whining all the time.
Right.
Mm.
It's like one of them bad relationships. It's like I done been in it this long.
Yeah, precisely, exactly. So,
Well,
all
Demarcus,
right, so
oh, go
no, go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm just
I
telling
was gonna
Demarcus
say,
that I don't really trust him when he talks about Apple TV shows, but I have heard good things about the studio. I just haven't. All right, Sheldon, go
well,
ahead.
I'm gonna say they're raising their prices, so they better start putting out some good content to
Yeah.
bring people in. So,
Yeah.
so all right, okay. I'll think of. I'm a TV guy, but let me think of just the ones that stand out for me. Maybe I'm a little late, but the best TV show I saw this year, and probably one of the best experiences I've had in a while, was Paradise. I'm not sure if you guys have watched that
Mm.
one.
I ain't
Hmm.
seen that
I'm
one
not
yet.
sure. I'm not sure if you watched it, but I want to give two. This is one where you need to be kind of sort of protective
Hmm.
with the spoilers and let the people kind of sort of discover it on their own.
Yeah.
But just watch the first episode. It's got an ending that is literally going to come out of nowhere.
Hmm.
It's like it's switching genres on you
Hmm.
without you even kind of sort of noticing it.
Hmm.
And it it has probably episode 7 is probably one of the best TV show. I'm not no hyperbole, no embellishing. It's probably one of the most tense. It's probably one of the most well crafted. It's probably one of the best TV single episodes of all time. It's that good, episode 7,
Okay.
especially within the context of what the actual story's about. So yeah, Paradise on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown. It's shockingly good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I
It's
like
very
Sterling
good.
K.
Um,
I'm so confident in the storytelling. I really shouldn't even say what I'm about to say, but start on episode 7 if you want, and then go back with episode 1,
mm.
Wow. And I was thinking about doing that. I wrote down episode 7.
and then
Yeah.
go back to episode 1 if you want. So yeah, it is that good.
Bet.
Yeah. Paradise is a very, very, very good show. I think I talked about it earlier this year when it was airing, but it's a very good show. I can't wait. I don't know how they're going to do a season 2, but
Uh,
and keep the
it's gonna be
same
told.
level
It's gonna be
because
totally different.
yeah, yeah, it's got to be. But Paradise was great. All right, Demarcus, do you have an activity for us today?
Absolutely. I have an activity for us today. And for those who are first joining us, if you're first time listening to the pod, the way the games and activities work on Black Geek Energy is DeMarcus comes up with the games, he comes up with the questions, the answers, he decides who's right, who's wrong, the winners and the losers. So basically, I'm in charge of this whole shit here. So it's my
Mm,
time.
okay.
But today's game, we're gonna keep it light. There are no winners, no losers. We're gonna play this or that.
Okay.
Uh, and the way this game works is just, another name for Would You Rather. Um, and I'll give y'all one more bonus. I have the questions divided into three different categories. There are geeky questions, there are social commentary, and then there are controversial questions. And you can pick one.
Ooh.
You can choose your category. And we'll do a few, and we'll see how far we get. We might not do them all.
Okay.
But all right.
Got it.
Thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
I will abstain and I'll let Sheldon just go first.
Okay, great.
Uh, okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Hmm.
So Sheldon, the categories is we can get a geeky question. These are the ones mostly about like maybe comic books, anime, cartoons, a social commentary. These bring it a little more real, but still have some of the like comic and stuff in it, and then the more controversial stuff. So as we're still going to keep the comic book stuff in there, but much more real concepts or topics.
I know based on what I just said about starting with episode 7, it's gonna
Hmm.
seem like what I'm about to say now is just like, oh, you just said something totally different. But I'm a sequential guy, so we'll just
Okay.
start with the first one that you said.
Okay,
So
bet.
let's go with geeky.
All right,
Okay.
bet. So Number one for the geeky. Uh, be would you rather be stuck in the X-Men universe with Magneto as your mentor, or in the Avengers universe with Tony Stark as your boss?
Child,
I'm gonna
please.
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the X-Men universe with Magneto as my mentor because Magneto's not messing with you unless you got some sort of power, especially a power that's gonna
Exactly.
attract his attention. So
Hmm.
if Magneto's my mentor, that means I've got something going on. I got
Right.
something special. Whereas, Tony Stark as my mentor, that could be kind of anything. That's not necessarily, cool. I
Hmm.
mean, I guess it's cool, but I could be an executive vice president of Stark Industries or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any power. Like I want to
Ah.
have an ability. I want to have a
I mean,
power.
he might give you
So
one of them
yeah,
suits.
No, he wouldn't do that. Because
I
you
mean,
could be a college intern and Tony Stark could mentor you. It's mm-mm,
yeah, I want that XG.
Yeah,
hmm.
I feel
And
it.
then let me be on the team that blows up the Sentinel factory. I'm ready.
Hmm.
I'm ready right now.
You know. Oh, so you choosing the same one, Jared? And,
Yes,
okay.
all
Oh, okay.
day.
I think I don't know, man. The X-Men be kind of broke, like the individual X-Men. So I might want that start mentorship to go ahead and launch my career. Then I can make my own heroes, have my own superhero team.
It's not gonna work like that because I
um,
said that you could be a college intern and like do
But I'm not a
working for
college
college.
intern. I'm a working
All
adult.
right, I don't think that would be the
I
case.
will listen. I will be broke with my telepathy or
Hmm.
you know walking through wall, whatever you want. I will happily be broke.
Yeah, me too.
I'll figure out a way.
Yeah, I'm broken regular now. Why would I go to another universe and be be the same way?
Fair enough. All right,
So
Jared.
yeah,
Jared, your turn.
I choose. Let's go controversial.
Controversial. All right. So either you can team up with the Punisher and take down corrupt cops in the real world, or team up with Batman to dismantle the billionaires.
That's not really controversial.
You don't think so? I feel
Uh,
like I feel like that is very poignant for the time we are living in right now.
oh,
uh,
that's a easy answer for me. So
yeah, I'm gonna take down the corrupt cops with the Punisher.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't get a flashy costume, but I think that
Yeah.
that would be the best thing,
He gonna
the
have you out
most
there in that
helpful
hoodie you
thing.
got on right now.
Yeah, exactly. Or I could be the man in the chair, which is perfect for me.
Mm.
Cause I don't think I can be out in the field with Batman breaking people's ribs. So I think that yeah, I would be the man in the chair or the Punisher and uh take down these corrupt cops.
Okay, okay. Sheldon, which one are you doing?
oh man, I'm let me get at these billionaires, man. Let me take
Yeah.
out these billionaires. I need to stomp these billionaires, man. I listen. This is a controversial topic, right? Is this what this one
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, man. I want people to get as much money as possible. I'm never mad at somebody getting money at
Hmm.
all. You know what I mean? But $1 billion is obscene money. That is just like a cartoonish amount of money. I don't think people realize that. I
Yeah.
think that you can make $1 million, like almost you can make almost $2 million a year for 500 years, and you wouldn't have $1 billion.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's just like an obscene amount of money, and my personal opinion is you don't become a billionaire without exploiting
Hmm.
somebody somehow
Hmm.
or exploiting large groups of people somehow.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
it's not all of them, but it's enough of them that they feel their wealth kind of gives them almost a divinity that makes them divine, sort of.
Yep.
And you know, I would love to just go around with Batman and the bad ones now, the ones who deserve
Yeah.
it, not just like anybody. These are people who committed. These are people who've done some sort of ill, because you got to remember, Batman himself is a billionaire too. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Exactly.
Batman himself is a billionaire, but yeah, these ones who are just making society a worse place for their own
mhm.
benefit. Let me get in that Batmobile with you.
Yeah.
that's
And
that's
and then
exactly what
this
I was gonna say. Go
and then the
ahead.
second thing is everything that Batman does isn't final.
Mhm.
Everything the Punisher does is final. There's no more of
That
that.
that's it. That's the end of
So
it.
yeah, let me be a part of the final solution and not whatever Batman's going around doing.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Sheldon. Because I was definitely gonna say like I don't trust Batman to actually take down his billionaire buddies. I feel
Right.
like it's he gonna have some kind of thing in the background that's like, hey, we took you down in the public, but here's view a way for you to get back started. Um, and then taking down corrupt cops, I feel like it's too small. And so this was a tough choice for me because it's like we're taking down like individual cops, and like all it's gonna do is just replace them with more folks. But I think
Uh,
I would still pick I
They'll
think I would still
learn.
pick the
well, what
get-
well you gotta remember, just tie in to they choose violence. You gotta take down the system. You can't just necessarily take down the cops. You gotta take down the whole
yeah.
system.
And that's I think I would
You
still
can't.
choose the billionaires because of that. Because like, well, maybe some of them would get scared. Because Batman,
Uh,
start putting fear in folks' hearts. So maybe we can scare a few on them, and they start giving away some money.
mm.
All right, Sheldon, we back to you. Three categories are geeky, social commentary, or controversial.
Let's go with our social controversy, our social commentary, since that's the one we haven't done so far. So,
All right, bet. All right. If injustice happened in your city, would you rather call the Justice League and hope they show up, or Lanika, Deidre, and Karen from They Choose Violence?
oh
Mm.
man, I'm kind of tipping my head, my head here with how I actually feel about things, and I always say I kind of sort of wouldn't, because I kind of sort of like for the readers to kind of figure out their own way with things. But
Hmm.
I would call the Justice League, because even though technically they're a form of vigilanteism,
Mm.
I know that it's gonna be a lot more due process with them. Rather, if I call, Ladika, Deidre, and Karen,
Yeah.
they got their own form of due process, and I'm not sure that type of vigilante is the one that I necessarily want addressing the issue. So, going back to, what's previously said about the Punisher being final, I'm not
Hmm.
necessarily sure. No matter what the injustice is, I'm not sure I want that type of finality, at least initially. So,
Hmm.
we can let Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman handle it, because you go down that dark road that Lanika and Karen and Deidre go down to. It's hard to come back from that.
Yeah. I hear it. That is the dilemma. Jared, what you think?
Look, if I gotta call in anybody for anything, I don't want them to just give somebody a talking to. I
Hmm.
need solutions and I need actions taken. If there's something happening in my city, then I have to pick up the phone, that red phone from the Justice League, the Super Friends cartoon. I have to call somebody and be like, can you come? And if they come down here and they talk to Lex Luthor and slap him around, I'm gonna be even more pissed. So yes, I would call Anika and them, and I would be like, take care of this for me, Sivu plate. And I know it takes them some time, but I am patient for their final solution. So I
Mm,
would call the They Choose Violence girls.
And the
that's
good thing about them is, you get to keep it. That's something you take to the grave with you. That's something that only you gonna know about. Which
hmm
basically, gives it just that little bit of hint of extra satisfaction. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I'm with you, Jerry. I would choose the girls from They Choose Violence because I feel like a lot of injustice just keeps going in a cycle. You know what I'm saying? You send the dude to jail, he get back out. You send him in jail again, he get back out. It's like, look, let's just put an end to this. I feel like the Justice League is just like a bunch of different Batmans throwing folks in jail, letting the Joker get back out again, and never solving the problem.
Yeah, the Justice League leads the Legion of Doom, like the Legion of Doom needs the Justice League. So never ending
Okay.
cycle of badness for
They're
the people.
they're yeah. The Justice League is the treatment. They're not the cure.
And I need the
Yep.
cure.
Uh,
Yeah. You know, ain't no money in the cure. That's what they always say.
exactly. You got to keep that treatment going.
All right.
All
We'll do a
right.
couple more.
Yes, DeMarcus, I choose geeky.
Choose the geeky one. All right. Your superpower is perfect comic timing. You're always funny, never miss a joke.
Okay.
Or perfect dramatic monologue powers, where every speech you give sounds like a movie climax.
I go on a lot of interviews, so I think that and being funny doesn't work well with some of these interviews. So I need to be as dramatic as possible.
Mm.
In 2001, I did these marketing things for whatever company I was at then. And this is why you would really benefit from hiring me. So yeah, I like the dramatic monologue one the best.
Okay, okay. Sheldon, I feel like you already kind of got both of these powers, but which one would you choose?
Oh man, I would take the comedic timing. Man. Everybody likes a funny person, but
Yeah.
here's the thing is you hear we've all heard the phrase "the tears of a clown" because when you're funny, everybody expects you to be funny all the time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's like it's never an off button. So if I had that perfect timing at all times, it would be just wonderful. It'll probably make me a little bit more social for a lot of
Hmm.
things too.
Hmm.
You know, I probably, I'd be going crazy with the ladies because the ladies love a funny guy. So
Hmm.
Right.
I would definitely take the comedic timing because
Yeah.
I feel like my inner monologues are already insane. Like if people could read my mind, they would just be confused, kind of sort of like what he's like in a whole other universe than where he is right now. He's not even thinking about what's like going on right now.
He don't even see what's going on in front of him. He's somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what? You're at a football game. Like, why are you thinking about like season 2 or Tokyo Vice or something? You
Yeah.
know. So I
Nah.
would definitely go with the comedic timing.
Yeah, and see me, I would want both of these. Like, I
I
don't.
choose both.
And if I had to choose one, I think I would choose the monologue powers because I feel like I'm pretty good at the comedic timing. I can slip in a joke here and there, but like when I start talking for a long time, it get a little shaky. I need the monologue powers.
Mhm.
Now, did
Okay.
you said inner monologue though, right?
No, dramatic monologue. So out loud,
Oh,
like
so just okay, okay.
yeah.
So that
Anytime you
does count.
monologue, it's epic.
Okay, I probably would still choose uh the comedic timing, but
Hmm.
the ability to deliver a monologue, you know, that's leadership almost. You get people to
Hmm.
follow you. You can make
Mhm.
changes and like a well placed monologue or speech, if you want to call it that, that can
Yeah.
change the course of history,
Yeah.
if delivered, correctly. So that's pretty powerful actually.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Sheldon, you gonna be our last one. We got geeky, funny, and the controversial. Or geeky
Let's go
social.
with let's go with social commentary.
All right. So, would you rather be judged for every single anime you've ever watched or for every single comic you've ever read?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask that question to because
Yeah.
I don't really care if you judging me. Listen. I'm proud. My taste is impeccable.
Okay.
Not to brag or anything.
Okay.
So take your pick. I feel like the anime. I feel like the anime question is kind of sort of like I don't know. It's like maybe like a trap. Like, oh, maybe they watch like hentai or something crazy. I ain't never messed with nothing like that. Like I'm with the legit anime. I'm actually
Okay.
kind of sort of an anime snob. Like some of this anime
Mm.
that's like that's coming out. I'm just so
Hmm.
snobbish about it. I'm like, that's not real anime. That's
Yeah.
like animated like 50% on a computer. Like, what is this
Yeah.
slop, man? And so, you could judge me either way. So if you were to judge me, I would say judge me based on comics
Hmm.
Mm.
because I like my comics that I've read and that I've consumed. And my hope and my aim for everything that I write or just everything I put out is to get people interested in comics. And I feel like a lot of the comics that I've read in the past would help get people interested in comics. You know, I've always taken great pride in putting people on
Hmm.
to comics, especially when I was smaller. Like I take this. This is like a little gateway drug. I know if you read this, you're gonna come back and be like,
Mhm.
The
where's the
first
next
take is
one?
free.
Yeah, or like, where what happened before, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, I'm a big promoter of comics in the industry in general. I want the industry to thrive. I want it to continue to grow. I wanted to bring in people who don't necessarily, you think of as a comic reader. So,
Hmm.
judge me based on my comics that I've read because I assure you, you're gonna look at them and you're like, what the heck? Like my brother, I have an older brother,
Hmm.
and I remember this was early 2000s. I would just always have my comics lying around, and he was a casual comic reader. He was a heavy one with me initially, but he kind of got out of it. And I remember I had We Three. It's a Grant Morrison, Frank Quietly book
Yeah, I
about
read that.
a dog. Yeah, about a dog, a cat, and a rabbit. They get like
Hmm.
these mech suits, and he was like, "What in the hell is this shit right here? Like, what's this dumb shit?" He's like, "What is dumb shit that you're reading?" And he read it, and he's like, "All right, what's the next one?" He's like, like that was like pretty good, you know what I mean? And so, it was another one that I put people onto was is Black Sad. I don't know if you know about that one. It's like a French book about like this anthropomorphic world, and it's about this detective. And it's yeah, judge me based on my comments because
Mhm.
uh, I'm proud of the things that I've consumed.
That's what's
Mm.
up.
Uh, do not judge me based on the anime that I watch because I have in the past watched some hentai and stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I just don't want my mama to see what I've been watching. So not on my anime.
Hmm.
You can judge me on the comic books I read.
Uh, and Jerry, I'm in the same boat. I've also been down. Don't look at my browser history. And then even like the normal anime that I watch, like sometimes I watch some trash anime, and I get to the end, I'm like, oh, I feel gross.
Yeah, yeah.
Judge me based on my comics because I feel like I choose much better comics to read than anime to watch.
Mm.
Nice, nice.
Well,
All right.
that was the I'm kind of aging myself a bit, but that was
Hmm.
actually how I got into to kind of sort of anime in the first place. Like
Hmm.
back in the day when we had Blockbuster Video
Mm.
and society was much better, I should add.
Yeah.
Um, they used to have like these movies or whatever, and they would have the dreaded youth restricted sticker on it, and
Hmm.
you couldn't
Mm.
rent it unless you were an adult or an adult rented it for you, and it was like the regular, stuff that you expected to have it on, but you would go and you would see it on these cartoons. Why the youth
Hmm.
restricted sticker on this cartoon? You know what I mean? And then you would rent it and you'd be like, oh, that's why. And
Hmm.
so like a lot of that kind of sort of, that the debauchery in a lot of these anime was the initial attraction, but then
Yep.
sometimes you appreciate the story so every now and then you appreciate the animation, and then eventually you'll get on that track where you're like, all right, yeah, this is the legit stuff right here. But I feel
Yeah.
like the initial attraction for most anime was that adult aspect of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And a lot of anime is like it always feels like it's made for adults. Like even though it's
Yeah.
like, a lot of marketed as kid shows, I would watch them like I was like, I'm a
Yeah.
kid. This ain't kid stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the game, fellas. That's all we got today. I hope you enjoyed it. No winner, no loser. Just having a good time.
All
Definitely
right.
enjoy it.
Thank you for that, Demarcus. Now we have to talk about the star of the show for today.
Mhm.
They chose violence. Now, if you don't know by now, this is a book that I've talked about before on this podcast extensively about three HBCU besties turned career women. They become this vigilante squad, and they have very creative ways of
Mhm.
dealing with the white supremacists in their area.
Mhm.
And it is a amazing book. Now, as
Thank
I
you.
have said before. Oh, do you want to say something?
No, I said thank you.
Oh, please. Thank you for writing this. But as I said before, I love violence. So when you have, so I'm always going to choose violence.
Mm.
So I was gonna pick this book up off of the name. I was like, okay, they choose violence, and I was like, oh, okay, HBCU girls. All right,
Mhm.
that's cool. I went to a HBCU. We both went to Hampton
Mhm.
together.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, okay, we're gonna see what this is, and yeah, when you had that 8 or 5, however many um pages
Yep.
it was of the girls killing these white supremacists in various and more creative ways than the last, I was like, did he just do this? Because I turned the page and there was more. I turned the page and there was more. And like each panel was another gruesome scene. I was like, this is so I haven't seen this in comics. Not even in the boys would they because the boys was like,
Uh,
we're doing stuff for a show and I want you to be like, oh gosh, but then right here it had a purpose to it. And it was purpose
Mhm.
of storytelling, it was purpose of shock, and it was the purpose of, good feels for me at least. But when you came across that 8 page violent killing spree, I just want to know, did the publishers say anything about uh that spread of murder?
I gotta keep it 100 with you, man. The publisher, AWA, Axel Alonso, he's the editor in chief there.
Oh.
This is this is probably the easiest book that I've had published. I've had
Ah.
no notes, no notes.
Not at
He
all?
he bought in early.
Mhm.
He bought in early. He was one of those kind of sort of like Carl. He's like, listen, don't don't take this to anybody else. Like I'm gonna make this happen. And it's been an extremely seamless process. It's
Mm.
absolutely no notes. The only edit that I had to make was an edit that I kind of sort of knew I had to make.
Mhm.
So it wasn't anything that I was upset about, and it's absolutely a 100% understandable edit. It had to do with it's actually in the next issue that's coming out, issue 4. I had to do it was it, let's just say it was a piece of nudity in
Mm.
there, and I kind of sort of knew beforehand that it wasn't going to be allowed because the way I wrote it wasn't the way that the artist. I mean, the artist drew it exactly how I wrote it. But I just didn't know he was going to draw it that explicitly.
I feel
and, when he drew it, I was like, all right, we'll see. But I kind of got a feeling they're not going to let us do it because I don't know. Well, we're all adults here.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
certain things you can't show on TV, right? Or you can't show on Plus. Unless you feel like you can't show pink, if you know what I mean, on TV
Mhm.
shows
Mm.
or in the books. And
Mhm.
he drew pink, and I like
Hey.
You know, I don't think we'll be able to do that because once you put that in there, then the book can be kind of sort of labeled as X-rated, and then people want to
Mm,
sell and put it on shelves, and then you got this whole, you know, other can of worms that's open. But
Mm,
other than that, man, they haven't asked me to change a single thing. Um, it's been an extremely, exceptionally smooth process, and you know, I'm super grateful for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought I was gonna run into a ton of notes and no, you can't do
hmm.
this or let's change that. Not one thing. They were
mm,
on board from day one.
yeah.
Nice. Man, that's got to be like satisfying because I imagine like starting out, you got like a lot of notes. Like
Mm-hmm.
what what's one of the comments you got like the most notes on that was just like like I feel like this is never coming out because they stay.
Uh, I got a lot on Crucify. I got a lot on Concrete Jungle.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll tell you one
Wow.
of the notes. One of the notes I got on Crucified that was really funny. It was like, hey, you got to take out the panel of the guy snorting coke off the prostitute's ass.
I feel like I've seen it in the comic. I feel like I've definitely seen it in like a
Yeah.
DC comic or something.
No,
Yeah.
what the thing is, it's like sometimes these artists they draw exactly what you write, and
Hmm.
it comes out. Sometimes it comes out a lot more graphic than how you intended to come
And
out. You know what I
Mm,
okay.
mean? And so, yeah, Crucify. I got the most notes. I'm not sure if you read all of Crucify. It's actually we did a special not too long ago. I had a
mm,
ton. I listen, that one. It's one of the few times I actually got in a back and forth with my publisher at the time. It was Scout Comics.
Okay.
Um, Long story short, the entire issue is it's framed as an interview, a TV interview,
mm,
between the Messiah and it was Tucker Carlson was who was interviewing him because you know that's who was the guy at the time, and the
mhm,
publisher they didn't say anything. Everything's drawn, written, colored. Like about a month or so before release date, they're like, "Hey, we got flagged by legal and we can't come out with this." And I'm like, "Okay, you know, one thing with me, I'm open to notes. I'm open to changes. I'm not, you
Yeah.
know, almost every editor note I've ever gotten since I've been writing. I said, yeah, okay, cool. Because believe it or not, more times than not, it does make the story better a lot of times.
mhm,
And
Hmm.
something, you know, they're seeing it from another perspective. But in this case, they're like, well, we can't use a real person. And I was like, what do you mean you can't really use a real person? I've been reading comics my whole life
yeah.
with actual figures in them,
Yeah.
celebrity
Muhammad Ali
figures in
fought
them. I'm like,
Superman. What are you talking about?
yeah, I'm like, what is this? You know, whether they've given their permission or not, you know, these are public figures. And they were like, well, can you take out his name and can you change his hair color?
Oh my
And, you
Wow.
God.
know, we can't say Fox News. And I was like, look, I'm not changing any art. I'm not changing, you know, any coloring.
Hmm.
You know, I can compromise and maybe take out the name because it's not really that important.
Hmm.
But you know, this is stupid. This is silly. So, kudos to the publisher at the time, Scout. I got nothing but good things to say about them.
Mm,
They're like, okay. They're like, that's fine. And then, you know, they did end up releasing it. But yeah, Crucified by far, I got the most notes on. Um, Followed by Concrete Jungle.
Hmm.
Snatch, not too many notes on Snatch, but Crucified and Concrete Jungle for sure.
Nice.
yeah, I did not read that special, but they were ramping up to it and they didn't get
Uh,
there. So I need to find that special immediately.
And the
Um
director's cut of this issue 4 of She Chose Violence.
that's right. That's right. Now it it must be so good to work with because we talk to a lot of comic book creators on this show and they talk about how the editors are always censoring their product, but they're censoring their vision. And it must be so gratifying to, be able to have everything with uh no edits at all. But the them not letting you show the pink, but them letting you show a guy with his head in his lap. It's kind of, what's worse. um,
well, you know, it's like the kids of my age, they understand it. I just use the example as dated. It's like the old Terminator thing, right? Terminator was a
Mm,
movie when we were kids, right? And you watch it with your parents, you have no business watching it. You're, you know, two,
Mhm.
however many years old, 3, 4 years old. You're watching this movie with your parents, and people are getting shot and ran over and all this other stuff, and they're just like, yeah, 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 yeah. But as soon as the sex scene comes on, it's like, no, don't
yeah,
look at that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, I think just sort of in America, violence is more accepted than any type of sexuality or anything that shows
Mm,
sex.
Yeah.
We could argue whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, I think you're gonna get away with a lot more violence than you are with nudity and sex.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually agree. Because my mom told me to go see the Players Club when I was like 7 years old, and I cover my
Uh-huh.
eyes whenever the titties came out. I was like, "Mama, no, you brought me here. I'm gonna make sure you get your money's worth."
Right. Like don't look at that. So yeah.
Okay. You have three very distinct characters in this book. And just to let you know, another reason why I had to hunt you down and invite you on the show and read your discography is because I can hear these people in my mind. Like usually when I'm reading comics, I hear Storm and Magneto. That's it.
Uh-huh.
But with these, I instantly heard their voices. I heard their inflections. I heard
Mhm.
everything about them in my mind when I was reading. Now that was just amazing how you put that in there for these three distinct figures, and it actually that connection with me grew as I got to the third comic. But like, how did you find these voices for these three different characters?
I mean, the inspiration is probably just, to be honest, was my sister and her friends. I'm the youngest, my sister's the oldest,
Mhm.
so we're about 7 years apart. So just seeing her growing up and her interactions with her kids, I'm not her kids, with her friends, that was a big influence on it. And I wanted the ladies to have, like you said, their own distinct personalities, their own distinct careers. I didn't want them. I kind of sort of wanted them to be one,
Mhm.
but
Mm-hmm.
they're totally different.
Yeah.
They all have different outlooks. They all have different perspectives. They all have different viewpoints. So I wanted it to feel real. I wanted it to feel like it's somebody that you've met before. It's somebody that you know. You know, um, the the art team is almost all international. The artist, he's from Argentina, and the
Mhm.
uh the colorist, he's from France, and these are places. They let's just call it what it is. Well, France, is okay. I guess
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what I was gonna say. There's not many. I was gonna say there's not many black women in these places, but okay,
Mhm.
France, there is. And then Argentina, definitely no. But
Yeah.
both of them, there was a gap in production, and both of them, they were like, "Hey, where's the next script?" They're like, "Where's the next script?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, y'all, you like it?" Like they both said the same thing. Like, no, I love these ladies. I got to see what happens next.
Oh
Mm.
Like
man.
I need to see what happens next with the ladies. Like where what's going on? Like what's happening?
Mhm.
Like I'm kind of stressed out. you know,
That's
and
what's up.
I just wanted to feel like I said, these people, you've met them before. I wanted to be familiar,
Mhm.
so I appreciate those comments about them, because that was really important to me. The series doesn't work without them being three distinct personalities.
Mm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So were the names even inspired by people you knew, like your sister or some of her friends? Because the names are
I'm
what
on.
stuck with me.
Huh? What's that now?
The names are what stuck with me. Like when I read the names, I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "I want to read about these women." Like these sound like
Man, look,
women from the neighborhood.
almost. Listen, I put it like this, almost anybody in any book I ever written, I got that name from somebody in real life.
Nice.
Mm.
I got that name from somebody. Now, whether that somebody matches that personality or that
hmm
character, not necessarily all the time, but the names. I have I have two big weaknesses as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
One of them might seem kind of stupid and silly, but if I have to do like a poem or a character writes a poem or like poetry or something like that, it ain't happening. I mean, it'll happen, but I'm gonna just think it's so. It doesn't matter how good it is. I'm gonna think it's trash. I'm not good at doing the solicitations for a book. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is what the book is about. The summaries of it.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at that. And then I said two things, but it's actually three things. And the third thing is I suck at naming characters. I try to come up with like a character name. It's gonna be like Mike Smith or something.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's gonna be something stupid or silly or generic, or not stupid because might be a Mike Smith out there, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be not very imaginative. So I always try to borrow names from people in real life who I've come across.
Nice. I feel like that makes it more real because that's
Hmm.
definitely
Yes.
something that I connected with. I was like, yo, I was like, I know a Deidre. I was like, I know a
Uh-huh.
Karen.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me
I
come. I'm
trust
looking
me.
for
I
you.
I I know them too. Trust me. I know them too. They definitely inspired by a couple people. So
Most def.
So you mentioned HBCU. We see some in their dorm room, but we do not get the name of the HBCU. So what HBCU are they at?
Florida Memorial.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Florida
Okay.
Is
Memorial
that where you
College.
went?
I did not. My mother went there though.
Ah, okay, okay,
Oh,
okay, nice.
Florida Memorial. Yep.
okay. Okay. And like, why did you think it was important to have that HBCU element in uh these stories?
Um, just from my experience, including my sister, she went to a HBCU as well. She went to
Hmm.
Fort Valley State, Fort Valley
Okay.
State
So
University.
high.
There- There's a they're just like a unspoken unity. There's an unspoken bond. There's an unspoken
Mhm.
sisterhood, especially amongst the women. Doesn't you have your rivalries, of course, but still like that HBCU bond is always there. You know, especially in specific industries or specific career fields. So that was just one way of kind of uniting them and you
Mhm.
know emphasizing that sisterhood, that bond between them because they're not blood sisters.
Right.
And so, when we introduce that HBCU element, you know, that's one way that we can kind of sort of just put them together and say, hey, this is where that bond was cemented.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you're right. Like with a lot of HBCUs, like we have a big rivalry with Howard, but if somebody else talk about Howard,
Uh,
it's like, oh no, you don't say nothing about my little brother.
Yeah, you
is
don't.
that
Yeah, the real HU, that's not for you. So
Right.
what are you talking about? So yeah, that's just a us thing. So watch
Yeah.
your tone.
uh,
And this I like that you made it about the sisterhood with the HBCUs because reading it out, I guess I thought like the only way we could get women who are this like angry and this like activated by in racial injustice is if they went to a HBCU.
Hmm.
right.
Because I feel like I went to a PWI for like grad school and I just didn't
Uh,
see the black folks there like they were just like you
well,
know
there's a history behind every HBCU that anybody who goes to that institution,
mhm,
they're gonna be well aware of that history. They're gonna know about that history. You
yeah
know, you go to, Harvard or Princeton or, Stanford, how many people are really invested or know of the history of those schools?
hmm
You know what I mean? You're kind of sort of going just for the name. Whereas with the HBCU, you're going not just for the name, but there's also a history there. There's a legacy
hmm
behind it. And so, there's a social activist legacy with many of these HBCUs. Civil rights movement, for example,
yeah
it happened on these campuses, a lot of them. And you're going to be more invested in not just the history, but in the current events of the time, the
hmm
things that are happening at that time as it pertains to your culture. So, like I said, the HBCU element was extremely important.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why I can hear these people in my mind. And I
I
always
think
hear my voice. I'll hear Professor Xavier in my voice. I'll be like, I wouldn't do that, but but uh but I hear these three women in my mind. And another thing that I thought was really intelligent is I'm not a woman, but
uh,
I did feel their seriousness when they
Mhm.
cut their hair. I felt
uh,
Oh yeah.
their seriousness, their commitment, like that trading art, which is a trading art. Like, okay, you're
Mhm.
gonna learn new skills, but the fact that they also cut their hair, oh, that was another
Like,
statement of
yeah,
seriousness, and we are fully committed to this now. So, like,
yeah.
where did that? Because that was a small piece of it, and they kind of grew their hair. They wore wigs or weaves, but later, I don't know. I think, but where
mhm.
did that part come in? Like, I have to have them cut their hair.
So it's actually twofold. It's like you said, it's one the one part is showing their commitment to it. So it's like they're
Mhm.
shedding their old identities
Mhm.
and they're getting rid of it. But the other reason for it is a more practical reason is um when they're going on these kill sprees or whatever they're going on, they want to make sure they're leaving as little evidence as possible.
Mhm.
So that's the other reason that they're shaving their hair. Make sure they're not leaving anything behind. They're not leaving anything to chance. So it's
Yeah.
actually two reasons. It's twofold for why they're doing
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's kind of
it.
what you just said was kind of what I thought. I was like, oh, they don't want to leave no evidence behind. But
Uh,
once you said that they're like they're showing a commitment, I was like, oh, you right. I was like, because like I wouldn't shave my head at this point. So in the getting I remember the big chop was a thing, and like every girl was like shaving
uh,
her hair. I'm like, oh, y'all looking crazy.
The
hey
fuck
man,
is.
hey, it's like, hey, that's a good look for you. Wouldn't for
Hey,
me though.
you doing your thing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that part. Now we can get into spoiler territory.
Mm.
At the end of issue 2, we figure out that one of the girls left her cell phone, or her cell phone was on her or something. And then at the end of issue 3, we find out the fallouts from that, and
Uh-huh.
that is
Mm.
these white people done tracked her down, and now they have got her to continue doing the crimes, um, because it actually kind of helps their cause. So now I'm mad at you again because this issue isn't out yet, but I am trying to figure out, like I knew something was coming because the way
Uh-huh.
I felt the drum beats of impending dread throughout, because everything was going too smooth. They were in
Uh-huh.
the diner. That
Mhm.
that waitress was iffy, and everything was just going too. They was laughing too much to be doing so much
Uh-huh.
murder.
Uh-huh.
But and then at the end, I would have never have guessed that it was all a God just thought that somebody would kill. I thought someone was gonna die that night. One of the ghosts gonna die that
Uh-huh.
night, but it was no, we're keeping you alive because what you're doing is helping us. So
Yeah.
like, where did that twist on the twist on the twist come from?
I mean, that's just the Sheldon Allen book. You've read all my books. I always throw like a wrench, a curveball in there. So I always
That
like a
was
little twist. I mean, a little spoiler territory. The We haven't even seen the biggest twist yet. The biggest twist is gonna come probably within the next 4 pages of issue 4. That's gonna be kind of sort of the issue where you're gonna be like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like issue the first couple pages of issue 4 is gonna blow people's minds. Like yeah, you'll know it when you see it. I feel like issue 4, I've said this before, it's the best anything I've ever read.
Okay.
If somebody were to say, hey, who is Sheldon Allen as a writer, that would be the
Mhm.
book that I would give them. It
mm,
would be issue 4 of They Choose Violence. And
Okay.
yeah, everything is seated, like you said. You see the threads, everything is set up for a reason. Um, so yeah, issue 4, you're gonna see the big, big, big twist coming.
mm.
Okay. Cool,
Yeah, I
cool.
can't deal with that no more. I'm really getting more mad at you as the second goes on.
And like I was definitely surprised like from issue one, and I ain't gonna hold you. I'm only one issue in. I got the second one like
Uh,
sitting on my
no,
desk.
you good. You good. You good.
But like issue one, because I thought that this story would start with them, and it would be more of like a young adult story, like they're in college, and then they start doing these crimes, and they're trying to go to school and manage their
Uh,
schoolwork and do these crimes. But you waited till like they were adults, they're in their careers, and they all work in law enforcement?
no, just
Once the
Lanika
nurse.
and Karen.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
okay.
one's kind of like one kind of has like her own little medical spa type deal.
Okay. And
Hmm.
so in that right there, I'm like, man, like them working in the system, I'm thinking like, oh, they in the system gonna try to change the system. It's like, nah, it's like we tearing it down. And
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not really a question at the end of that, but like, that was just like something that got me in it. But I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
Well,
kind of just
the time for talking and protesting is over as far as they're concerned. They've done that enough.
Right.
They've
hmm
done that enough. And I think the key for them is kind of sort of when Deidre tells her, I was with a guy and somebody die and you don't really feel anything. I think that was kind of sort of like the little key that kind of shoved him, like, all right, the little
Yeah.
nudge, like, all right, you know, what if we did do this on our own? What if we did take matters into our own hands?
Yeah.
It is
hmm
funny you said the young adult version. It would be an interesting young adult version if they choose violence.
Yeah. Maybe there's a prequel there, showing them what they was doing in protest. Maybe they just beat some people up before they get to killing. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay,
Like
Sheldon.
Gossip Girl in the bar.
Okay, Sheldon, you have completed the interview segment, and we are almost done with the episode. We're just going to ask you 17 quick fire questions that you could just answer yes or no, or very short answers if you want to. But if you want to go in deeper, you definitely can. So, are you
Where did
ready?
17 come from? Why 17?
So seven that okay, 17. That's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that before. 17 came
Uh,
from that was how many questions I asked Lorante, who was our third co-host, the first time.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I asked him those 17 questions. And yeah, that's just where I started. So yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Cool. Let's do it.
And these questions are based on our previous episodes and some of this uh episode as
Conversation.
well. So,
Mhm.
Cool.
what is your elevator pitch? You're in an elevator with a major Hollywood film producer. You know who he is. For one of your comics to be made in a movie.
Okay. Tell me the comic. Pick the comic that
You
I'm doing
pick
the
a
elevator pitch
comic.
for.
You
Okay.
pick.
So they choose violence is out. So I would say it's Punisher meets Girls Trip. That would be my elevator pitch. Or
Mm.
or Kill Bill meets Girls Trip.
Better one.
Ooh.
Better one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Question.
rocking with.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would see that in theaters. What anime are you watching right now?
Oh man, what anime am I watching right now? Um, I'm one of those guys I like to revisit the classics.
Hmm.
So I'm back. I'm back on the movie tip. So I'm back on Akira. I never get tired of Akira.
Ooh. Yeah.
Mm.
Akira is good. Definitely a classic. It's
My favorite.
Yeah. I can't watch it too often. It's a rough one.
It's one
um,
of those I revisit because I always find something I didn't see before. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
mm. If I can recommend one, go ahead and watch Takopi's Original Sin. It's just 6 episodes. Very good. Extremely good.
what's it
And
called?
it's called Takopi's Original Sin. And it's
Okay.
just 6 episodes. And I actually was reading your book and watching that show around the same time, and they kind of have the same themes in them.
Okay. Let me check it
Mhm.
out.
Okay. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
Oh, vampire.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
Vampire. Who wants to be a werewolf?
Well,
Right.
some people don't like being dead. So,
Mm.
I don't know about you, but every werewolf story I see ends with the werewolf being killed.
Exactly.
okay. um, I know you're a huge Star Wars fan. So, what is the best Star Wars TV or movie since 2010?
Oh, that's it. It's Andor. Andor's the
Oh,
season by far.
Mm.
That's like that doesn't even take me. That's a millisecond to answer. Andor is not just the best Star Wars anything. It's like one of the best TV shows ever.
Mm-hmm.
Not ever, but certainly within the last decade. But it certainly, we were talking about monologues earlier. It certainly has the greatest monologue I've ever heard in season one. If you know, you know what
Mm-hmm.
monologue I'm talking about. So yeah, it's Andor.
so you like season two as well?
It's not as good as season one, but
Mhm.
I absolutely enjoy season two. The thing I love about Andor is I'm a bit, of a revolutionary at heart, and I love going back to Rogue One. I love how it sets up this feeling of hopelessness where you're going against this gargantuan empire, this machine. How can we ever defeat this machine? Like they have everything at their advantage, and we have
Mm-hmm.
nothing. But yeah, all
Yeah.
you need is just that small little glimmer of hope. That's all you need to start that revolution. That small little spark is how you start the inferno. So that's why I always kind of sort of gravitated and appreciated Andor.
Okay. Okay. Favorite show, Fresh Prince or Martin?
Uh, I watch Martin on a regular basis. I love them
Okay.
both, but I feel like I kind of sort of fell off watching The Fresh Prince, whereas with Martin, I religiously watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm a
Okay.
lot with Martin.
All right. All right. Um, who is your favorite rapper turned actor?
Favorite rapper turned actor. I feel it's got a guy. I feel like I gotta go with Cube. I
Hmm.
gotta go with Cube.
Mm.
I gotta go with Cube. He's got such an iconic, distinctive voice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you watch him in the films, it's like, oh, that's Ice Cube, but he kind of sort of transcends Ice Cube a little bit, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. And yeah, I feel like he's almost never given a bad performance, even in that one that they were just mocking that came out, War of the World. I really didn't think he was that bad in it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't really think it was that bad, to be honest with you. So
I didn't either.
yeah, I'm gonna rock with you. Who are like some of the other ones we can say?
Will
Ludacris.
Smith, Ludacris,
Will Smith.
Ice-T.
Okay, well, no, wait, duh. Will Smith's the answer. What are we
Yeah.
talking about here? Wait. What are we talking about here? It's Will Smith. That's it. There's nothing. That's the end of the discussion. It's Will Smith.
We've gotten to
Okay.
Queen Latifah before too.
Oh yeah.
I really don't think we appreciate Will Smith enough. He had a
Mm.
crazy run at one point. He
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
had just like an insane run that I'm not sure will ever be duplicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What upcoming movie or TV show is on your must-watch list?
Upcoming movie, TV show. You know what? As much as I want to see Avatar, because I'm a huge James Cameron guy. James Cameron's a huge inspiration to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Really?
yeah, I I'm gonna go with season two of The Pit, which is a show I got
Oh,
addicted to.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if you guys watch it. I listen. One thing with me, I do not fuck with these medical shows like
Mm-hmm.
that,
me neither.
and The Pit is just different.
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's just different, man. The realism, and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of sort of just fall in love with the characters. It's like no BS. It's just about the medical drama. They don't have like the little side stories and love,
Yeah.
um, you know, storylines, which is fine. I don't mind that necessarily. But the pit is just all business. And I love the fact that the season one just ended and they're already coming back with season two.
Yeah.
They're not doing a little 2 and 3 year waits.
Nice.
So that's the one I'm really hyped for.
Okay.
Paradise season two is also coming out fairly quick too. So I mean they're both right there.
All
You
right.
didn't
To
seem
watch them
too
both.
pleased when I said Avatar though.
No, I hated Avatar. It was just Pocahontas. The first one was just Pocahontas.
No, technically it was Fern Gully. I don't know if you remember that movie.
It was Fern. Okay,
It
okay, it was
was
Fern
Fern Gully.
Gully.
Yeah,
Oh
technically
man.
it was Fern Gully, but look, I love the first one, but I think the second one took it to another level, and I didn't even have high hopes for the second one. But the
Same.
second
Mm,
Yeah.
one, the second one is just like pure James Cameron in that he just gets you to the third act of his films, and his third acts are they're usually like there's like at least 3 points in his third act where he can end the movie, where most people are
mm.
in the movie here,
Hmm.
and they're satisfied. You can roll the credits right here. Damn, that was a good movie. He keeps going and he keeps adding all these extra elements to it. And I was
Okay.
just like, yo, James Cameron's still that dude.
All right, I'll
Hmm.
check it out. All right. Aliens come to Earth, and it's your job to make them love humans. What comic do you read to make them love human beings?
Oof, what comment am I going to show them if I want them to? It will probably have to be All Star Superman.
Hmm.
It had to
Okay.
be All Star Superman. So the thing with me with superheroes is I don't think I like the superheroes who don't have a reason to be a superhero other than it's the right thing to do. You know, we
Hmm.
have this idea that they had to have some sort of trauma that drove them to be a superhero or drove them
Hmm.
to, want to dispense justice. I just like the stories where, hey, this is the right thing to do. This is the noble thing to do. I think All Star Superman kind of represents that.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, I think I read in one of the back pages about the writer that you were a middle school teacher. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, what TV shows is the best ones for children to watch?
Middle school age kids?
Yeah. Because now there's no more PBS or anything.
Listen, you gotta say the best. You gotta define the best. Do you mean the most entertaining, or the shows I'm trying to show them to teach a lesson, or what do
Uh,
we mean by best? You gotta elaborate on that.
okay. I don't want to do that 'cause I don't want to put you in a box. But if you were to sit them down because you need 45 minutes and you want to put on something that's entertaining, that is new to them, what would you put on? You have the whole catalog of everything. What would you put on?
You're gonna laugh at me and be like, "What? Don't ever bring him around my." I'm gonna show them the boys. I'm gonna put the boys on.
Oh,
I'll put the boys on.
I would have watched the boys in middle school.
Of course.
Okay.
Listen, if I need to get something done, I know they're going to be captivated to the boys. And
Hmm.
as graphic as it is, it's presented in kind of sort of an almost cartoonish way,
Yeah.
in a fantastical way that I wouldn't be opposed to. I was watching stuff like The Boys when I was in middle school. So I wouldn't have an issue showing it to a middle school kid.
Hmm.
I would absolutely put on The Boys.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Um, somebody comes up to you, they say, I want to get into Sheldon's work. What is the best book that you give them to start reading your
I
discography?
would start. I would start them off. Remember, I said I'm a sequential guy, so I'll start them off at the beginning, which was a Spider-Man book that I wrote, which I think
Hmm.
is a pretty unique Spider-Man book. If you, I mean, it's called The Agony of Defeat, and basically gets his ass whooped by Rhino,
As he
really
needs
bad.
to. As he
Yeah,
needs
and
to.
start there, and then go to Crucified, and just work your way down.
All right, all right,
It's
all right.
not rocket science.
Now, I thought I heard y'all say y'all were big Peter Parker fans.
Massive,
Mm,
Yep.
okay.
massive
Uh,
Peter Parker.
I
You
liked
said
him
you
when
wasn't.
he, no, I'm not. I liked him when he was beating up Kingpin in the
Oh,
prison.
Mm.
That's it.
When
um,
Spider-Man put on the black suit.
yeah, yeah. Okay. What is your favorite adult cartoon?
adult cartoon was my favorite. It sounds so obvious now. I don't know if it's for adults because I was watching it as a kid, but It's South Park still. I find
Mm.
I find so much joy in South Park. Um,
Yeah.
to this day, to this day, the funniest film I ever seen in theater was the South Park movie. I remember, we were kids, and it was almost like we were. It was kind of sort of meta a little bit because it's almost like we were kind of sort of reflecting the plot in the movie. Because in the movie, they go to see this movie that they're not supposed to go see. They kind of sneak
Mm-hmm.
in, so we kind of snuck in to see South Park, and we thought it kind of it was gonna be like the show kind of sort of. And then they're
Mm-mm.
just like cursing left and right. We're like, oh my God, like we can't believe they're saying this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
By the time like the Uncle Fucker song comes on, we're like, what? We're like, what is this that we're watching? And I just always have like a soft spot in my heart for South Park.
Yeah, you can
The
do
South
it.
Park
It's
movie
all
is
up
one of
to
my
you.
favorite animated movies.
Yeah, mine too.
It's incredible. What were some of the ones you would say? I know this is my time, but what would you say?
Favorite adult cartoon. I like Vox Machina on
Mm,
Amazon.
Okay.
that is a good one.
I liked what is that show about the VR? They get trapped in this virtual world. It was
Pantheon.
on AMC. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
What was it called?
Pantheon.
Pantheon. Yeah.
Okay, the Pantheon.
Yeah. I think I
Um,
would say Scavenger's Reign.
yeah.
Like a newer.
I saw the first couple of episodes of the animation and the innovation is just insane, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was super weird. It was like the kind of show you watch and it's like this is gonna be in my dreams later, but
It reminded me of a little old show. It's called Aeon Flux. I don't know if you guys remember
oh
it,
yeah, I
but
remember
it
that.
kind of remember that. It had that kind of vibe.
Hmm.
All right, just four more. Who is the gayest Disney villain?
You said gayest?
Yes.
It's Scar.
Yeah, you were so quick.
It has to be Scar, right? It's
That's a
got to
fair
be the
answer.
Scar.
That's a fair answer.
Let's just go down like the list of some of them. It
Mhm.
can't be Ursula. Clearly, it's not Ursula,
Well,
right?
hold on. Ursula was inspired by Divine, who was a popular drag queen. So it can be.
But when she takes the human form, what does she
She's a
do?
woman.
That could be
She,
drag, all that makeup.
but she's trying to marry the prince, though.
I mean,
I mean, that seems like a lot of trouble to go through.
Right.
Okay. Jafar, he doesn't strike me as hetero
I
or
think
gay. He's more of like that power is what turns him on.
true, true. I would agree with
okay,
that, but I
okay.
also think Jafar wanted Aladdin, and that's why
What's
he
that
kept
now?
locking him up. I said,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gaston, we know what he's after.
Mm.
So you don't think
Yeah,
Gaston was kind of gay?
nah, he's just he's just a meathead.
Yeah.
He's just a meathead.
No.
He's about that action. He's about them ladies, man. Um,
Mhm.
But Gaston's friend definitely was. And that's canonical now.
Probably, yeah,
I,
for
I think
sure.
it's like
I don't think you can deny that.
Mufus. Yeah,
I
I
had to
think.
go with Scar.
Yeah.
The reason I say Scar is because although I don't know, because in the new Mufasa movie, he like the I forget Simba's mother's name. Was it Nairobi? Or I
Hmm.
forget what it was.
Oh, Sarabi.
He had Sarai, yeah, he initially liked her, and then Mufasa kind of stole her from him, which is
Mm.
one of the things that they did. I don't
Sarabi
like
wasn't
that
studying
because
that man. He ain't stealing nothing.
yeah, I like some. I don't like that element, even though I surprisingly like the movie
Yeah.
because it kind of goes back to what I said about heroes and that I don't feel like necessarily the hero needs to have a reason to do good. I kind of sort of feel the same way about villains. Like I like
Hmm.
villains who are just evil, they're just bad people. They don't. There's
Mm.
nothing happened to them, no trauma. They're just bad people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll ignore that. I say Scar.
Okay. 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 Who is your favorite black superhero?
Favorite black superhero is Blade. I don't even have to think about that.
Ooh.
Blade has always been my guy. I'm a huge fan of Blade. That film changed my life actually.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's one of the reasons I wanted to get into entertainment was
Oh.
at that time when it came out, the superhero films weren't very good. They weren't taking them very seriously. Certainly not black superhero films, even
Oh
though,
yeah.
you enjoyed them. Like, I used to love Meteor Man. That used to be one of my favorite films back in the
Me too.
day. But my brother and I, we were huge geeks and we didn't have any expectations of Blade other than, we like Wesley Snipes from New Jack City and other movies. We just thought it was gonna be like a regular run of the mill film. And when that opening scene happened in the nightclub, we were like, holy shit.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah.
That's literally what they were like, yo, this is different. Like what? They're like not fooling around. And then, sometimes films have that amazing opening, like the intro credits of an anime, and then the animation quality falls down. He's like, oh, well, that's where they spend all their money.
Mm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to keep up that quality of the opening, but Blade, it met, it lived up to that opening. So
Mm.
Blade is my guy. Blade is,
Okay.
is my number one black hero.
Okay. Yeah, the intro scene, the belly has really stuck with me this whole time.
Blade, Luke Cage, Miles Morales. Those would be my top three.
Okay. All
Nice.
right. All right. All
Nice.
right. Um. Okay. Two more. Who is your favorite black character who is not black?
My favorite black character who is not black.
Like
Hmm.
they said Panthro in the past, the Teenage Mutant
No, I
Ninja
got you.
Turtles. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Let me see. That's a good one. You know what? You go think I'm copping out? I'm gonna say Peter Parker and Spider Man because Peter Parker got the forever invite to the cookout.
Man.
Who's? No, he don't. No, he
Yes,
don't.
he did.
Mm-mm.
um,
Peter
How is
Parker
he
got the
black?
cookout pass.
How is he black?
Well, we gotta define what black is. For me, part of being black is being able to have empathy amongst other things, right? There's a difference between
mhm.
empathy and sympathy, right? So Peter Parker, he definitely has the empathy, right? And you have to have a curiosity about things. Peter Parker has that curiosity. And I don't know, man. I feel like Peter Parker, he would fit in. Now he does fit in
Mhm.
the black community, in black spaces. He could have gone to an HBCU. I see Peter Parker as the white kid, one of the few white kids at the HBCU.
Yeah. I Had you been like Spider-Man, like when Peter Parker is in the Spider-Man suit, yeah, he fit in everywhere. Peter Parker
Uh,
just walking around the street, nah. I
you don't think so?
don't think so. But Peter Parker in the Spider-Man suit, because Spider-Man, he actually do kick it with everybody.
That's interesting. Maybe the mask gives him that courage to want to kick it to everybody.
Yeah.
Kick it with everybody. That's you know what? That's an interesting perspective, actually.
I do agree that Peter Parker would flourish at an HBCU because usually white kids at HBCUs do
Mhm.
tremendously well. They're popular. We had a
Uh-huh.
white
Yeah.
queen at Hampton. It was
Oh wow,
controversial.
wow.
We're
Mm.
not going to get into it, but we I do think that white people flourish at HBCU is not a bad thing. It's just like everybody needs to go to HBCU because
Uh-huh.
anybody can flourish there. So I do
Hmm.
believe he would flourish there, but when he leaves that HBCU, I would be very excited to see how he acts.
Hmm.
Extremely
That's
excited.
that's one of the reasons I say I feel like I don't feel like he identifies necessarily sees himself as like a white person because we know I think about it all the time. Like kids who I kicked it with when I was in high school and middle school, we listened to Wu Tang and all this other stuff,
Hmm.
and I know exactly where those people are right now and where their sensibilities are. They are
Yeah.
absolutely not those same people. I feel like Peter Parker, he kind of sort of be that same person. You know what I mean? Is
Hmm.
the authenticity to him because came up as a geek and a nerd, and so there's that common kind of sort of almost an underdog factor there.
Hmm.
Okay, this will be the final question. This isn't on the list,
Uh-huh.
but so you think that Peter Parker would listen to Wu Tang and not Taylor Swift?
I feel like he'll have a schizophrenic bipolar playlist like myself,
Hmm.
where I'm going from like, Michael Jackson, and then it's just like Cameo, and
Hmm.
then it's like Mobb Deep, and then it's just like Prodigy, like some techno, and then it'll be like some Taylor Swift, and then Selena Gomez. Like I've got everything on my playlist. I got opera. I think he'd just be bipolar. Like he's just a fan of good music, of good media. He just consumes all of that stuff.
You know, Peter Parker is the only Marvel superhero that I think would vote for Trump.
You think so?
For
Yeah.
him,
I
Mm-hmm.
don't think so.
I I
That's too far, Jared.
I definitely
I,
think so.
I disagree.
Well, him and Professor Xavier, I definitely think so.
no, Tony
Mm.
Stark.
Tony Stark would
Um,
definitely vote for Trump and be like, "Oh, he's
yeah,
charismatic."
Yeah,
I feel
Tony would
like I
too.
feel like Peter Parker is a bit worse. I feel like he's one who probably wouldn't vote at all. Like, he's not even locked into that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's not that it's beneath him. It's just not. It's just not his thing. Some people are just not into politics like that.
Hmm.
And not voting at all is definitely worse. So,
Absolutely, it absolutely is worse.
okay.
But I know we're running out of time, but I feel like he would be receptive to somebody like you pull him aside or myself and explain to him why not voting is bad and
Hmm.
it's easy for him to not do because of his white privilege. He would be receptive to the idea of white privilege. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
something that he rejected.
Yeah.
I would like for Peter Parker to be confronted on his white privilege because he has done things that a black character could never do. So, I would like to
That's
see
a good
that in
story.
comics. Yeah.
It's a good story, actually.
Yeah, very good. Maybe that'll make me like him a little bit better. So, Sheldon, tell our listeners where they can find you.
Man, you can find me at Sheldon Wrote It on Instagram. I'm not the most social person. I
Hmm.
listen. I usually check in every now and then. Um, I pretty much just only have my comments up there. But yeah, follow me on Sheldon Wrote It. I'm pretty responsive. Most of the time, if you hit me up, I would love for you to follow me, communicate with me, keep up with what I'm doing. That's pretty much my main spot.
Yeah. And Sheldon, your comic book has been the reason why I sing these past couple of months. They have influenced me. I talked about you extensively on our podcast, about your books, about your madness, and about my anger. But thank you for putting your pen to paper and just giving us these magnum opuses that you have given us. And because when I went back, uh, your work was still ringing true. So I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful to those coworkers who was all up in your business and got you to release something. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I cannot wait until the next thing that you do. Okay. You can find us on all the social media, Black Geek Energy. You can find us on Twitter at BG_pod. Demarcus, did you know we had a Patreon?
You know, it was only $3 a month.
Yes, I did. Did
Mhm.
you know that we had a little Etsy store?
I did know we had an Etsy store. Yeah, I ain't bought
And
nothing.
okay, well, all
soon,
right. So you've been knowing this for
soon come,
months.
soon come, soon come.
All right.
Y'all
Well,
some hustlers, man.
We
we
trying.
trying. I
We
can't even
trying.
get my co-host to buy nothing. So
You're gonna be real surprised one day when I pop up with the sweater.
all right, all right. And by the way, I know you didn't buy nothing because those notifications come to my phone. So I'm just checking to see if you know you didn't buy anything.
Mm.
Okay, Demarcus, any final words?
We've talked a lot about white supremacy and how do we take it down and HBCUs connections. Um, this has been another like really black episode, and I love that. And what's more than that, it's been like a very southern episode. I don't know if anyone else can feel those vibes, but I can. It definitely sounds like a bunch of Southerners, folks from the southeast of the United States, just hanging out talking. Um, I love to have new writers on to talk about their work, to get to know them. Um, like reading They Choose Violence and talking to you now, Sheldon. I had to get to know you for it to feel like okay, I see the man who wrote this story versus like when you first came on, it was like, it's not quite what I expected. But it all blends together perfectly. And now that we've gotten a chance to talk to you, man, it's you know, I want to read the rest of your work. I'm gonna send you that email. Go check out
Please.
Sheldon's work.
Yeah. All right. And thank you again, Sheldon, for coming on. This has been another episode of
Thank
Black
you.
Geek Energy.
Yep. BGE out.
Bye, everybody.